Did you know that in real life, Ralph Macchio and William Zabka became friends after the original Karate Kid film was completed and became a hit? Macchio said that they became even closer friends after Pat Morita passed away in 2005. So part 1 of Cobra Kai is over. These last 4 episodes were awesome. Just so much to talk about, so much to think about, so many theories I have, so many hopes I have, and I just want to tell you all the things I liked about this final episode and then my hopes and theories for part 2. My first thought on this final episode is, as I stated in my review for the first episode, I was kind of hoping that the rivalries would die down, there wouldn't be any rivalries really left, and I guess I was wrong. By the end of this 5th episode, the friendships that we've come to love are pretty broken right now. Especially the one that broke my heart the most was Dimitri and Hawk. I saw that they make up and they're still really good friends. Just the way it ended, just really sad when it comes to like the friendships and the relationships that seemed really solid, you know, for this season. Like I was pretty optimistic about the relationships in this season because like finally y'all moved past your differences and your beefs, and now there's still some stuff going on between you. Like they needed to stop being like this and become friends and stay a tight-knit community, because they need it now more than ever. The future was the big discussion of this final episode for part 1. Motivations behind everyone who made it to the Sekai Taikai, why they're there, what they're hoping to do if they win. You know, they're all feeling like the pressure and the weight of the Sekai Taikai and what it's going to require of them. And of course, if there are letdowns, if there are disappointments, if they don't win the fight or they don't win, period, what will that do to their self-esteem? Anything could happen at this point. I have no idea what to expect. Of course I want them to win. Of course I want them to have a bright future. But also, life is not fair. Things do not work out sometimes, and I just hope that they are getting to the point of being mature enough to understand that just because you want something doesn't mean you're going to get it. Then the really big thing that definitely caught me off guard was Mr. Miyagi's secrets, his legacy, kind of second guessing that Daniel is having now. I have mixed feelings about the decisions they're choosing when it comes to how Mr. Miyagi is being presented now. I am hoping that the story is explained. I like the emotional impact it has, but at the same time I don't like when people mess with a character that everybody loves. You know, makes us question him as a good man. Of course he's not perfect, but at the same time I think it would have been better just to keep it a secret. But it adds to the story, adds another interesting aspect to the story, and I'm just hoping that Jaden finds out the truth and that his love for Mr. Miyagi and his love for Miyagi's legacy would be the strongest it's ever been, and there will be some happy ending, some kind of closure to Daniel's feelings regarding this matter. And then Tory. I'm not going to get into the details just in case people haven't seen it yet, because I know people got lives, they'll get around to the show when they get around to it, so I'm not going to spoil anything. Just all of you who have seen this final episode, you know what happened to Tory and what she decided to do at the end of this episode, and I gotta say, maybe one of the biggest plot twists I have ever seen in a show in a pretty long time. It was so emotional. Like, I didn't expect this last episode to be as emotional as it was, and it just broke my heart watching this episode. A couple theories I have is regarding Tory and what happened to her mom. I think there's more than meets the eye regarding what happened. You know, I think we all can agree that Kreese has some kind of hand in what happened. We did not see Terry Silver at all in this first part. I really wasn't expecting to see him. I was kind of hoping that we would see him a little bit, but I'm sure he's going to show up in part 2. I still think there's going to be a big face-off between him and Kreese. That'd be really awesome to see, but I don't know what he's going to play into. I'm sure he's going to have some stuff to do with the Sekai Taikai too, just because he's a snake. Like, he's a straight-up psycho. And then I'd say my last hope and theory for part 2 is that there's going to be some crazy matches in Sekai Taikai, specifically surrounding Miyagi-Do versus Cobra Kai. Cobra Kai now has an extremely dangerous, lethal fighter named Quan. And I do think there are a couple people in Miyagi-Do who can take him. I do. I think there are a couple people in Miyagi-Do who have a chance of beating him, but at the same time, I don't know. I'm excited to see who steps up, and I'm hoping that, we get an underdog moment, like maybe Miguel beats him, or maybe, Devin shows her worth. Something like that. Something regarding characters who have to prove themselves even more and want to prove themselves more and want to win more than others do. So I'm so excited for part 2 coming out in November. So for this final episode, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10 Mudflaps. And remember, leave me a thumbs up, drop in the comments below. What are your hopes for part 2 of Cobra Kai? See you next time.